this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare two fantastic super ultra-wide gaming monitors from Samsung, the Odyssey G9 and the NEO G9. The NEO is the more recent model of Samsung's super ultra-wide gaming monitor lineup, and it sports some really interesting upgrades that includes a mini LED backlit panel, up to 2000 nits of brightness, HDR10+, HDR 2000. It also has 2048 local dimming zones instead of 10 that were available on the G9. Otherwise, it's basically the same, as it has 5120 by 1440 pixels. It has 240 Hz refresh rate, or 120 in picture-by-picture mode, and it sports a 1 millisecond refresh rate. It has a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, which is pretty nuts. I'll leave all the specifications in the description, as well as links to the two reviews that I've done separately. But here I want to show you the differences between them and talk to you about what they're like to play on. Now, I've been using the G9 for about a year roughly, and really enjoying it. I really loved it. I reviewed it and then I purchased my own after I sent it back to Samsung, and now the company's been kind enough to send me the NEO G9 to review, but that too is going back to them. So this video is no way paid by Samsung. It is just an honest opinion of what the two are like. First thing I was struck by when playing the same games on the two different monitors, which is what you're seeing now with the two clips split between them, and now in split screen mode you get an idea of what it's like. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare Clean House Mission, and on the G9 NEO is noticeably better color range. The blacks are blacker and the quality is a lot better. This monitor obviously has improved HDR, but I've tried to keep the settings the same on the two monitors so you get a visual comparison of what they're like. And yet the video doesn't do it justice, because the NEO G9 is far superior. There is a noticeable difference in the color quality and the range of the NEO G9. It's a much better looking experience. It's really vivid and clear. Obviously it has the same pixel count, it has the same sort of action in that department, but it's just improved with the local dimming zones and the dynamic brightness and things like that, which means that you get a much better range of blacks and up to the whites as well. So it's a crisper, clearer, more satisfying picture, which results in a much more immersive experience. I was really struck by the difference. I didn't think I'd see much of one, but you really do. It is fantastic for gaming. A really clear and wonderful experience no matter the games. And you can see some significant differences between the two when I'm showing the different clips. This is from Ghost Runner, so there's just a few clips from different games to give you an idea of what the differences are like. And I've tried to use some of the cutscenes just because they're the most comparable. But on paper and in practice, the NEO G9 is the much better looking of the two. However, I will put one caveat on that, and that is when using it for working, I've actually found that the original G9 was preferable. I use this for working during the day, getting my job done and video editing and other things, and I found that there are some dark spots and areas where the dynamic brightness and other things causes some weird blurry shadow effects which are unpleasant. I also found that the eye care mode, which drops out some of the blue light, isn't quite as nice on the new monitor. It adds in a lot of brightness for some reason, which I find a bit taxing on my eyes. However, what you're seeing with gaming is mucho wonderful. So if for the majority of the time you're using it for gaming, then you will definitely see a wonderful improvement. If you've never used the G9, then this is a fantastic monitor. They're both great. Obviously, the NEO is the cream of the crop, but you are paying a lot of money for it. It is wonderful for productivity reasons, because you can do split screen, basically split the screen into two. It has HDMI 2.1 connectivity, which is an upgrade on the G9, which did not. It also has DisplayPort 1.4, so you have two HDMIs and one DisplayPort, whereas the G9 had two DisplayPorts and one HDMI. So there's slight differences in the specs across the board, not only in the display, but also in connectivity and other things. Both monitors don't have speakers though, that's worth bearing in mind, so you will need a headset or speaker setup. And if you want to find out more about what I was talking about with the problems with productivity, and also get a view of how picture by picture works, please be sure to check out the review linked in the description, because I'll show you that. I think it's a real highlight to be able to split the screen in two when you need to in Windows, and snap things side by side in your browser. But I'm focusing here mostly on the gaming, because that's where both these monitors really shine. You get a wonderfully wide view with 32:9 aspect ratio. It just fills your peripheral vision and gives you a brilliant view of the world. You can see from the NEO G9 footage that the whites are really bright as well. This is hard to put across in video, because obviously what you're watching this video on is going to have an effect on the results that you're seeing. So you'll have to take my word for it, but it has been a really, really good experience, and one worthy of your money. Now, this is an expensive monitor, it's a big investment, and I think it's worth having a look around at other people's videos and content that's out there, because you will find people complaining about the HDR and other issues with it. I personally found that the HDR on the NEO G9 was actually really improved over the original G9. The quality is a lot better. It uses HDR 2000 now, or 10 plus on it as well. And I found that it just worked a lot better with games. Those clips that you saw at the beginning of Clean House, for example, I found that on the G9 originally, if you watch my original G9 video, I commented on how it would cause issues around the mouse cursor and bright spots where you'd have like some bloom in those areas, and it would just be white where it shouldn't be, and it should be black. That problem is no longer there with the NEO G9. It is a much better HDR experience, and it gives a much better visual range in terms of the darks and the bright colors without any of that annoying bloom, which is fantastic. The color range is also really good, and just the overall experience is brilliant. Now, there's one other thing that's worth talking about. The back of the monitor has an infinity core lighting zone. On the original G9, it was said to just have static colors and whatever else. I said in my original review I didn't think much of it. Now they've upgraded it, and it's designed to respond to your game. So your gaming experience is designed to change colors and reflect onto the wall. I found it didn't really work very well. Don't expect it to be good. If your monitor's pressed right up against the wall, you might have an experience, but I generally found that I just wasn't seeing and wasn't noticing it. You get a much better experience with a Philips Hue light strip, or something like Corsair's lighting systems, where it responds to the game. But unfortunately, the lighting on the back of this isn't up to much. But the display itself is absolutely magnificent, and once you go super ultra wide, you really don't go back. This is a second to none experience that's well worth investing in. However, will I be upgrading from my G9 to the NEO G9? Probably not, to be honest. The visuals are certainly a lot better, but obviously I already own the monitor, so what I'm going to do is sell it, make a loss, and then pay out a lot more money for the NEO G9? Probably not. So if you already own a G9, I would say it might not be worth the extra investment, unless you really think HDR is a big deal and you want the HDR for all your games and a better experience in that department. However, because I also use my monitor for about 80% of the time for working and productivity reasons, I actually prefer the original G9 over the NEO G9, but it is still a fantastic monitor, and one that's been an absolute joy to play with, and I will be sad to see it go. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. Be sure to check out both reviews for a more in-depth look at all the different problems and wonderful bits about these monitors. And thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, hilarious, or otherwise. Take a look at these other videos that I think you might find interesting as well. And have a look at the description for links and other information you might find useful. Click that join button to see the benefits of being a member of my YouTube channel. And most importantly, have a great life.